Welcome to Successful Living with Bill Knapik. Every week, we talk with interesting people in a variety of professions for ideas to enhance your success in all aspects of life. Successful Living with Bill Knapik starts right now. Here's Bill Knapik.
Welcome to the show. It is Successful Living with Bill Knapik. I'm your host, Bill Knapik, and we're talking about the successful life, the successful Christmas holiday season. It is right here upon us, and we have very special guests right here from Second Baptist, our Woodway campus. You know, we have 7 locations around the Houston area. We're going to talk about a super event and many other things going on at Second Baptist at the Woodway campus. And our guests are, we're going to start with Rodney Brooks, our music minister at Woodway, and John Stanley. Gentlemen, welcome to the show.
Thank you, Bill.
Thanks,
Good to
Bill.
be here.
Glad to be here.
Lots to talk about, and we have plenty of time. We're going to talk to other guests that are participating in some of the great things going on in December around Christmas, this awesome holiday. But first, the event that we want to really focus on today is The Light Has Come.
Yes.
Rodney, give us a preview of what that is as the listeners are looking for great things to do around the Christmas season and they want to stop by Second Baptist.
Well, The Light Has Come is a full theatrical production, and it features an awesome over 100-voice choir, a fabulous orchestra of over 35 players at our Woodway campus on the main stage, and it features singers and actors and dancers and a variety of pageantry. So there's a lot of elements that will fit every person's desire to be here for Christmas.
And I want to remind people, too, that the doors are open. We're called Second Baptist, but you don't have to be a Baptist to attend.
Absolutely not. We welcome all at Second Baptist.
That's right. The doors are open. And one of the other things, we may hit upon this later, the venue. If someone has not been at 6400 Woodway, by the way, all our campuses are beautiful in some way, but our original campus, 6400 Woodway, the venue there to see any presentation, to see our pastor, Dr. Ed Young, speak, or any of these special things that we have going. It's a tremendous facility with 5,000 or so seats and top quality, state-of-the-art audio and visual.
Mm-hmm. Oh, most definitely. Most definitely. I remember the first time I walked in there, I wasn't on staff at all. I was just invited to come check something out, and I walked in. I was like, "What is this place?" I mean, it's just gorgeous, just ornate across the board. So it's a real fun place to be able to put on amazing productions like The Light Has Come, and it just makes things, and it allows you to feel just the grandeur of what of us as a church, and just the pursuit of who God is, and it opens that up, and it allows you just to sense that and feel that presence, and it's just a great venue. It's across the board. It's a great venue, but it's also an amazing church location at Woodway.
I want to tell people also there's certainly Christmas Eve services, Christmas Eve services.
Yes.
So those things can be found at second.org, so you can see all the things going on at all the campuses, second.org. Let's go back to The Light Has Come, and let's give people an idea of some more of this presentation, and we'll tell them the dates. It's on the 18th and 19th, which is a Saturday and Sunday. There's going to be, we have 5,000 seats, so we're prepared to handle, how many is that? Times 6 performances, and
30,000 people.
Yeah.
So we're ready for it.
We
right?
are ready for it. Bring your friends, your neighbors, your cousins, your uncles.
If you don't have a
children,
friend,
bring them all.
If you don't have a friend,
it.
make some friends before the event and bring them on.
Absolutely.
Make multiple visits, absolutely.
And you know, one of the awesome things about the way we present at Second Baptist, we have ticketed events where you can reserve a seat and be guaranteed that favorite spot inside that magnificent room. Or you can come out on a free presentation as well. There are 6 total presentations. On Saturday, you have between the 3 o'clock performance and the 6 o'clock performance. The 3 o'clock is, of course, ticketed. 6 o'clock is free. And then on Sunday, you have 4 opportunities to come. You have 9:30, which is free, 11:11, which is free. Then you have 2 ticketed performances at 3 o'clock and 6 o'clock. And all you have to do is go on thelighthascome.org, and you can see all the ticketing information there.
That's right. If you're driving or if you're not driving, just go to thelighthascome.org.
Absolutely.
And all the details will be there. You don't have to remember that, but remember the name, The Light Has Come.
Yes.
It's a tremendous presentation. Rodney, about how many minutes is the presentation?
It's right at 1 hour, so it leaves you wanting more. And believe me, the 1 hour will fly by. You won't believe how fast it moves.
And we don't want to give too much away, John, but you were telling me earlier about the opening, and that's designed to be magnificent and to bring you right in. Give us a little teaser about what's going to happen.
Oh, man.
So get there early so that you see everything that happens.
Yes.
But the opening...
Yeah, so we're working hand in hand with a group called the Silhouettes, and they were on America's Got Talent. They were the season 6 winners. And then in
2020, the Golden
Buzzer winners. And they are just a phenomenal act. And we have partnered with them, and I was a lot of fun to be able to work on an original composition for what they're performing to. But what they do is called shadow art, essentially. But it's a very high level of shadow art. It's the most sophisticated.
Is there any other level?
I mean, if you're
going to do shadow art, we want to be right up there. Right?
It's incredible, and I highly encourage anybody that's listening to go check them out. You can go to YouTube and go to America's Got Talent, and you can Google that act and just see what they do shadow art wise. But it's really spectacular. But we do a piece with them of creation, and we just walk through the biblical kind of creation, and it walks right into the fall of Adam and Eve, and what they do shadow art all the way up through that is just incredibly powerful. We've gotten a few glimpses of it, and it is spectacular. Some of it actually brings tears to your eyes. It's Lynn, who is with the Silhouettes, who started them, and she's the visionary behind them. Just really went to work displaying an amazing artistic picture of what occurred in that time frame, what occurred and how that is displayed artistically is very moving. And so partnered with everything from the script, with the music, with the shadow art, and it's displayed across 3 giant screens that we have in the worship center. That are just massive.
It really sets the tone for the entire service as we start out with creation and we move into Adam and Eve and the fall of man, and then what God did as a result of that. And it just sets the pace for the entire evening. But it's a spectacular way to start the program. I think our audience will be mesmerized by the artistry of what they're doing.
Absolutely.
As you're describing this, I'm thinking of the emotions and the things that people will experience during this presentation.
Absolutely.
And as it starts like that, there's going to be a whole range because you're having the shadow art accompanied by music.
Yes.
In addition, we're going to see so many things: dancers, actors, performers, lighting, top-notch, to say the least. A lot of moving parts. Children will be participating.
Absolutely.
I don't know that there can be anything else to bring people into this holiday Christmas spirit than what's going to happen right there at 6400 Woodway, Second Baptist Church.
Well, one of the things that we love so much about this type of presentation is it encompasses the entire family. There's something for every person of all age groups. And as a matter of fact, we use all age groups in this program. As you mentioned, we use children, teenagers, adults, and in all of the capacities. So it's really something for the entire family to enjoy and to welcome in the Christmas season.
And I once again want to remind people we will have room for you. Again, the capacity is around 5,000 at the Woodway Worship Center. But again, 6 performances, so
30,000 seats.
That's 30,000 seats, and then we're going to have to factor in those that go to the earlier performances, let's say Saturday at 3 or Saturday at 6, we're going to have a certain percentage that are going to be back the next day.
Absolutely.
That's what I would do.
Hopefully, for sure. And we do say, if you are coming to one of the free performances, bring a friend or bring a family member, bring a whole lot of family members. Just it's a great time to be able to invite people, especially you don't have to pay for those tickets, and so just come enjoy the show and bring as many people as you can with you to those free events. It's really fun.
I'm thinking of this at this moment. I've been a member of the church, involved in the music ministry in a big way since the year 2000, playing the Hammond B3.
B3, Bill.
If you don't know what the Hammond B3 organ is, and many people don't, they've heard it, but they may not know what it is, I suggest Google Hammond B3. You'll know what it is. Also look at the B3 players. By the way, a little Hammond organ trivia. That is Henry Ford had a Hammond organ. Now, he died in the 40s, I believe. However, the B3 was made in the 50s. However, he did have a Hammond organ because the Hammond Organ Company was around a long time. There's the B3 trivia.
There's the history.
There's the history. But as I have been a member since 91, I'm amazed at what we've seen. And Dr. Gary Moore, who's sitting right beside me, knows that too. He's been there before me even. But to see the church evolve and what we do each and every weekend throughout the week to bring people in. The fellowship of excitement is our motto there and has been for many years, but there's all you have to do is go there to see that take place and to see that unfold before your eyes. And the evolution of the presentations, from the singing Christmas tree to Here the Light Has Come Today, we really go all out to bring people into the Word and to also give them something they can't see anywhere else.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah, it's a phenomenal team, and I would say that's one of the great joys of being able to work with the team that we have at. And I know across the board at every other campus, every team is stellar, and it's no less at Woodway. It's a phenomenal team. Everybody from those in the worship office, from Jeff that you guys will hear from in a little bit, to Rodney, to Joe Lou, to Allie, to Megan. I mean, there's just so many teammates on our team that have really worked hard to bring this together. Josh Smith, another just incredible composer and arranger who has worked hard on this production as well. And then our tech team, everybody from Mac Brown to Jeremy Beatles to Josh Webster. I mean, Anthony and Gavin. It's just an incredible team, and who really work hard to bring top-notch level of production to a normal church service, and that's not something you get at every single church. And so it's incredible to work with them.
It really is. And each person, even our tech crews, our backstage, they're all artists in their own right because they are stellar at what they do, and that's what makes the production happen, not only for The Light Has Come, but week in and week out, and in everything that we do at Second Baptist.
Yeah, and then not to mention our School of Performing Arts, too.
Absolutely.
Kristen Beatles and Bridget Parker, who also just work incredibly hard, who have brought so much young talent into this show.
And what is so encouraging is the dancers that you see before you are all products of our school through the Performing Arts School. They're all members of the church and from various campuses, including Woodway. So when I say it's a family event, it is really a family event, really both on stage and in our congregation.
Yeah.
The skill and performance level is incredible. Where I was starting to go when I talked about when I first got to Second in 1991, actually 89, I became a member in 91 at one of our candlelight Christmas Eve services. That's right.
I did not know that.
My son and I, young Blake at the time, became members. But the thing I'm thinking about is Dr. Young's vision, his leadership, how he has been able to have the right people in the right seats all the time, or at least most of the time, to see what we've been able to do today and the volumes of people that we've been able to bring to the Word. It's been incredible. But his vision, he is such a unique and visionary and a communicator like we've never seen. So we're talking about The Light Has Come. But how about come on a regular weekend and hear Dr. Young preach and have him talk about the Bible?
Absolutely.
And it will connect with you as it did with me in 1991, 1990.
Oh man, I've been on staff now for 16 years at Second, and I've there's not another pastor like him that I've ever encountered or gotten the chance to work with ever. And he does not back down from bringing biblical truth, and that is something that is rare today. And
one of the
best
amazing communicators in any field, whether it's Bible teaching or anything else. If he had his skills in any other category, it would be stellar as well.
Absolutely. I told him just the other day, I think he could run any corporation in America, and I truly mean that. He, as you mentioned before, he has a keen insight as to a person's ability, their skills, their talent, and he's able to place them in a position where they can excel. And one of the things that I've only been on staff a short time, less than a year, and what I've noticed about him is just in every area of our fellowship and our church, it's all about excellence, giving our very best to the Lord. And he puts the right people in the right place to ensure that that happens. And he's gifted at doing that. He really is. And it shows up every single week.
We're talking with Rodney Brooks, music minister at Second Baptist Woodway campus, and John Stanley, percussionist, arranger, author, so many things, and musician wrangler with not just the rhythm section but the orchestra. John, tell us a little bit about the musicians there. I mean, logistically, I mean, you know that we have the top people. You're finding the top people, but logistically, that's just a big part of your job as well. As you schedule, as you find, someone can't make it, whatever else, or we want to add an instrument.
Yes. No, that's an insane part of what we do. I will say, just to piggyback on what you just mentioned, we do have, top tier players that join us at Second, and they are just an incredible, phenomenal group of musicians that. I don't really think there's one thing that we can put in front of them that they can't play. We on a typical Sunday morning, we don't really do rehearsals during the week. We show up with them on a Sunday morning, and we
5 a.m. I like it. Every time it's like, we're going to have to show up a little earlier. We're going to have to. It's like, okay, we'll just be there at 5. Let's just do that.
Yeah, but I mean, they get one run through with the music, and they are just knocking it out of the park. We did, just not too long ago, pretty soon after Rodney came in, we started a newer process that we've not done at Second before, where we were holding full auditions, and we had a great audition lineup, and we just let the word out to let people know to come across the church and just citywide as well, and just said, if you want to be a part of orchestra, come in. And I was blown away by the talent that showed up.
I was amazed. Nearly every applicant brought a resume. Some were 2, 3, 4 pages long, with several degrees in their particular instrument, their principal instrument, and who've been involved.
Yeah, who've been involved
the country.
With the LA Philharmonic, New York Philharmonic. I mean, you've got that kind of level coming in and trying out, and then those who are also heavily involved now. And a lot of relocation happened during COVID, and so we had some stellar musicians kind of move into town as well. So we've got groups that perform regularly with the Houston Symphony. We've got some of the principal Houston Grand Opera people on our orchestra, within our orchestra now, who are principals with the Houston Grand Opera and the Houston Symphony, who are also principals at Second as well. And then just as well as combining them with a great group of volunteers who also join us week in and week out, who have so much fun getting to play with these musicians. And so it's just been a blast, Bill, working with them, and really getting a chance to put some challenging things before our team, and then them blowing it out of the water. And then not to mention the stellar rhythm section, you yourself included. We've got Landon and Walter and Alex Navarro on keys, on piano, as well as some incredible Thomas Helton and Jermaine on bass, and then and at times like this weekend, we're going to be bringing in. There's times where I have to be on the floor to direct, and so at times I, get some subs to come in and play drums while I'm on the floor. And we've got Donnie Batwell, who's incredible, David Hara, and then this weekend we're bringing a guy named Josh Baker, who
been on the show,
and he's Mariah Carey's drummer.
How about that?
Getting to bring in guys like that, just help continue to elevate. And so it's a blast. It's an absolute blast. And so I can't say enough good things about him.
I have to mention Josh. And as I told him, yes, Mariah Carey has so many accomplishments. Her vocal range is, I think, on some kind of world record. However, the song "All I Want for Christmas Is You."
She's the queen of Christmas.
Oh,
right?
my goodness. I discovered that years ago. And when I talked to Josh, I said, what is it like playing that song before 20th or whatever the crowds are, he says they just go nuts. And they play it all year long just because people want to hear that song. I love that song.
Yeah, absolutely, man. He's funny whenever he dives into those discussions. But yeah, absolutely, it's a blast all the way around. But
it's super fun. In the meantime, we're talking about our presentation coming up the 18th and 19th of December. That's right around the corner, really a few days away from this broadcast at Second Baptist Woodway, 6400 Woodway. 6 services. I mean, you talk about choices.
Plenty of seats.
Plenty of seats,
Absolutely.
6 services. It's going to be amazing. You go to
thelighthascome.org.
Thelighthascome.org.
That's right. Go to thelighthascome.org. It's that
It's
easy.
all there.
It is all there. So now let's bring it at the show. The Light Has Come. There's a group called
Veritas.
And we have one of the Veritas guys right here. One of the 5, Jeff Anderson. Here he is, Jeff Anderson with Veritas. You guys are incredible. If someone has not heard the group before, and you've been at Carnegie Hall all around the world, really, but let's tell people how they can learn more. Of course, they could come and see The Light Has Come, but let's tell them about your group.
Definitely want to encourage people to come to Second Baptist and experience The Light Has Come. 6 performances during the weekend of the 18th and 19th. It's going to be incredible. Veritas always enjoys being at Second and being a part of the excellence that they that we expect and that they continue to do each and every week. And so we're always excited to be a part of that. For those of you that don't know who Veritas is, you can always go to our website at veritas5.com. And there's a lot of great information on there about each and every one of us as individuals, but also all our music. And a lot of people ask us what the name Veritas means, and it's just a Latin word that means truth. And so as musicians, we are 5 very unique, different voices. But when the 5 of us come together and sing as one, we call it a wall of sound. And so we've had the privilege of being together now almost 10 years. And
it is indeed a wall of sound.
It is. Oh, yeah.
We're pretty excited about being a part of The Light Has Come and always thrilled to be in the Houston area. Matter of fact, we got a lot of fans in Houston, and so we want to encourage everybody that's out there to come check out the Light Has Come performances, and we'd love to see you and looking forward to being here.
Well, individually, we also want to tell people that you're there. People can see you sing with our orchestra rhythm section on almost every other weekend or whenever throughout the year. You are there, Jeff Anderson, as an individual singing duos and singing by yourself in an incredible way. So that is awesome. But the other guys, I mean, it's like we love that's your home, Second Baptist, in a way. And tell us what some of the other guys say. I mean, I talk to them every now and then, but when you all talk about Second and when I'm sure you're very excited when you're anticipating to be there, what are some of the things the other guys say?
Yeah.
And let's tell people their names.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, Second is home. There's very few places that you can call home when you are doing what we do when you travel all over the country.
And y'all live in different places.
Yeah, three guys live in Nashville, Tennessee. That's James Berrien, Jordan Johnson, and Scott Lawrence. And then I live here in Houston. I have the awesome privilege of being on staff here at Second, and also the opportunity to be with Veritas. And really about a little over 4 years ago, I got the honor and privilege to come to the great state of Texas and be a part of this incredible staff and this incredible church, who's really just in so many ways changed my life and my family's life. And then Andrew Goodwin is our final and 5th member. He lives in Mobile, Alabama. And, each one of, I think collectively between the 5 of us, we have 35 years of vocal training and experience over the last 10 years on the road. But each singer has their own style and uniqueness that we bring. And so it's really kind of nice to be able to showcase that in different ways. And then when we sing together as a group, it's a lot of fun, I should just say. But, people want to know what we are style-wise. We call it classical contemporary or classical crossover music, and that's what we describe ourselves as.
I might even say indescribable in some ways. Because,
oh, you're kind.
But
Thank you.
when all of you are together, what's interesting, if someone can, and those that are listening have seen you, and certainly at the time of broadcast here in Houston, but around the United States and on the internet, people hear the show. And it's very interesting. You're singing together, and then one of you sings a solo for a part of the song, and then the other. And as you're saying about each one, you all sing differently and so well. It's almost like every time another Veritas person sings for those few seconds or whatever, I'm saying as a spectator and participant, oh, that's my favorite. And then here comes the other guy.
Yeah.
That's my favorite, because your voices are so great and beautiful, but they're so different as well.
Yeah, we kind of have a joke that we do in our concerts is we'll start off the concert with a few songs, and then we'll say, we know what you've been doing the last few songs, looking up here, figuring out which one of us is your favorite.
I'm not the only one.
But the fact is,
Okay.
a lot of people do go,
Sure.
well, yeah, he's my favorite. No, maybe he's my favorite.
Then here comes the other guy.
But it's kind of nice. It's nice to be able to take people on a musical journey, to be able to create different experiences. And, one of the things that I love about Veritas being a part of The Light Has Come is that it's different for us. This is different for us to be a part of something like this. We get to play some characters in describing the greatest story ever told. And for us to be able to bring our creativity and our voices to this already stellar production really is an opportunity of a lifetime and a highlight of our year. So we're looking forward to 30,000+ people coming over the weekend of the 18th and 19th Experiences show.
And certainly people will be able to see Veritas right there. The Light Has Come. They can see you throughout the year periodically. But one thing they don't get to see that is not quite as entertaining and moving as when you sing, the Veritas sound check. That is in itself. Let me tell you, people, you may not be there that early to see it, but it's something. I mean,
it's an experience for all of us. Because you have 5 different people who want 5 different things.
Oh my, yeah.
Amongst a great crew. But you know what? We've learned. We've been to Second so many times. I think we figured it out. I'm not sure if we figured it out.
Getting there.
Don't speak too soon.
It's a lot of fun.
Can I have a little bit more of me and less of them? I mean, some of the quotes I've heard along the way, I should have written.
Yeah, right.
Or bring that up a skosh. What's that, guys?
A skosh, yeah. Well, we're going to make
What's
a T-shirt
skosh?
out of that.
What
A
is
skosh. Yeah, James, he likes to say that. But we have a great time.
Carnegie Hall, right? You all played there. I saw pictures, behind-the-scenes pictures. Tell us what that was like and what you were doing there. How long ago was that, Jeff?
Well, the beautiful thing about music and melodies is that when you listen to a melody, it draws people to memories that all of us have experienced. If I listen to a song, I can tell you probably where I was when I first heard it, and or it reminds me of this person in my life or that. And when I hear the melody to one of my favorite musicals, Bring Him Home from Les Mis, I immediately think of Carnegie Hall and New York. And we had the opportunity to sing some Broadway classics in Carnegie with the largest, to my knowledge, the largest choir ever with 400 voices on stage. And then on top of that, to be able to sing an iconic song in front of New Yorkers and for them to give us a standing ovation.
Oh, wow.
And to be a part of that was incredible. And then turn right around and give them the gospel and sing Amazing Grace and still get the same response was a memory that I'll never forget. So we've had the privilege of singing at Carnegie twice and looking forward to our third time, hopefully here soon, now that New York is starting to open back up.
Yeah.
Well, let's tell people the Veritas website.
Yeah, Veritas5.com. Also, we have a brand new album that just came out called A Time Together. And after being apart for 18 months because of COVID, we came back together, created some great new arrangements of wonderful classic songs, everything from 1940 to 2010. It's a great CD. You can find it on all streaming platforms and our website. And so
I want to say
hopefully you
this
check it
too,
out.
as far as when we talk about the COVID, and our church didn't miss a beat.
No,
and,
really
and going
didn't.
back to Dr. Young's vision, determination, persistence, brilliance. I hope
Yeah.
he's listening, by the way. Dr. Young, I'm a big fan. But we didn't miss a beat.
No.
There's some churches I'm hearing about that are just now starting up. But as a musician there, I think we were only off 5 weeks.
Yeah, we started back up Mother's Day
Day
weekend
a year ago.
a year ago,
So
when everything was shut down.
Right. So that is, you reminded me when you said New York's just gearing up, and that is true. But no, we haven't missed a beat, and that is incredible. Very proud to say that. One other thing, if I were a music teacher, and I think it was years ago, I have the recording from my monitor from my Hammond B3, and that is you sang the song "Mary Did You Know." Remember? I think you might have done that by yourself at a service without the Veritas guys.
Right.
But if I were a teacher on that presentation that I have the recording of, I would call this the power of a pause. And you know what I'm talking about because you and I have talked about it.
Right.
But you brilliantly executed that song in a way where the emotion, and you just stopped at a point and left. And at that time, the worship center was full, 5,000 people on a Christmas service. You stopped at the strategic time, the emotional time that you must have felt, and everybody was hanging.
Yeah.
And then continued the power of a pause. People haven't lived until they heard you sing that song. I'm telling you, I still remember
Actually,
that.
what
That
they
was
don't
years
know
ago.
is I just really needed to take a breath.
He had to take a breath. It worked.
But
It worked.
It truly is. I think as artists, as musicians, the key word we always think of is moments.
That was a
and you
moment.
have to create a moment in your songs when you're communicating. And sometimes you just need to take the time to pause so people can soak in what they've just experienced, put it in some sort of context in their own life, and then go back into the presentation. Yeah. And so we all do that in certain ways. You know, John does it when he's producing these epic arrangements. Rodney does it when he's putting together our choir and all of the incredible musicians that we have and presenting it. I mean, there's always those moments within a song, and Gary's been doing it for years and led the way. So it's just, that's the beauty of being around creative people all the time, and it's what makes us better, and it's what really communicates to an audience and creates those moments that they just leave going, wow.
They walk around and they say, oh my goodness, and then they tell people about it. That's what's going to happen at the performance. The light has come, and it's also going to happen every time you visit Second Baptist, any of our campuses, especially Woodway, this Christmas season. Jeff, let's tell people the website again.
Second.org. You can find more information about all of our services during the weekend, and then The Light Has Come is also lighthascome.org is where you can get more information about the tickets. And I want to encourage everybody, even if you come to one of the services that is free, or you bought a ticket, and let's say you just remembered that the Christmas show is taking place, you come to the door, we'll find a way to get you in. You just be there. You know, don't worry about all the logistics. You know, if you have a desire to come, there's a way to go and be a part of it. It's
Thank you so
great.
much. Jeff Anderson, The Light Has Come, Veritas. I can't wait to hear you sing again. Maybe you'll sing here at the end of the show. Dr. Gary Moore, your name has been mentioned already several times. Here you are. People can't see it unless they're looking at the YouTube video. You're wearing the Christmas sweater.
Yes.
You're the train conductor.
De rigueur Christmas sweater.
And you have been, let's just tell people just a bit about your background. You have been with Second Baptist.
40 years.
Whoa! 40.
Almost as old as some of my clothes.
I mean, that is incredible. You've done so many things in your history with the church. You've been involved in the music. You've also directed the choir and musicians along the way. And now your role, let's tell people about what you're doing there now.
I am the chief engineer of a train little experiment in children's Christmas experience and their parents. But first of all, I hate to bring in controversy at the beginning, but I want to disagree with Jeff about describing Veritas as a wall of sound. I don't think that's correct. I think it is a tsunami of sound.
There you go.
Overwhelms you and lifts you up and spit you out, as it were. Incredible. I can't encourage folks enough. I get blessed every time they sing.
Indeed.
Yeah.
Now, as far as trains go, one of the things we have, and you have put together for many years, a train display at, I don't know if it's all our campuses.
Yes, all 6 of the campuses.
How many years have we been doing that?
We started in 2012, and Cliff Young, Dr. Young's son, was in charge of one of the programs, and they had a train in the program that came through the audience, a styrofoam train. So
I remember that.
Cliff thought it'd be a great idea to put some trains in the lobby, and so hence I was impressed to do that, and it's been a wonderful experience. Families, it just bridges the generation gaps. Children love trains, grandparents love trains, everybody loves it, and it's magic.
In fact, I don't know what it's like to be a child right now. Maybe you get an iPad or maybe you get an iPhone or who knows what, but when I was a kid, that was one of the things is you got a train set.
Yeah.
And there were different gauges, the HO gauge, the Lionel.
Right, and I had an American Flyer. We weren't quite that affluent, the Lionel crowd. But another thing about that is when my grandparents lived in Houston, I used to come every year at Christmas, and Foley's downtown had a huge window, and they had a train, not so much a train, they had elves and Santa. It was the most magical place you could come. And I feel like we are providing that same kind of experience for families now. It's just to watch yesterday. We have a story time that happens once a week
around the trains.
Wow! And there were kids everywhere yesterday. And we have a little train that runs in the parking lot at the same time, some of those times, and it's just a total family experience.
The sounds of the wheels on the tracks, the movement as the trains turn. I mean, I don't know. Maybe a lot of people can hear that as I do right now. I'll tell you, maybe it's kind of a sad train story. It just came to mind. I'm the only child. I got a Lionel train set, and it was very nice. It was the bigger gauge, and it was the blue and yellow, that iconic Lionel, the lead train, whatever it is, the engine. I can't think. Okay, so I got that, and then a couple carts, and it was a very simple oval track. We got that. And then my dad lost his job. We had to sell the train set.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So we went through a period where we had to take the train and sell
you
it.
You could have come to Second Baptist if we were doing that then.
Well, we were in Harrisburg, Pennsylvania. Yeah. Just saying. And my dad eventually got a job, but the train was gone.
Wow.
So anyway, seeing the trains. Right now, people can go not just before and after the light has come, the special presentation, or before and after the regular services
right,
at
30 minutes before each and after each.
Any of our Second Baptist locations. But one of the unique things, Gary, is you have it where they could come during the week, right?
Yes, Monday through Saturday, 10 to 2. And we have a yard master, we call it, who's dressed up in an engineer outfit to kind of take care of the trains and some hosts to take care. It's a wonderful experience, though, just to get that. And like I say, we've been doing it. We started in 2000. This would have been our 10th year, but we lost a year because of COVID. So this is actually our 9th presentation of it, but every year it grows in intensity.
It's a big production, the trains, and it's so beautiful. I reference, of course, my flight plans during the week. I'm around the Woodway campus sometimes. And what's interesting, I think I would encourage anybody listening, if you're around, you go out to lunch, maybe you're going to Carrabba's, one of the restaurants around there, take a lunch break, drop by the Woodway campus, or if you're out in Fulshire, they can go there as well. Right. It's a nice thing to do during a lot of people are having Christmas lunches and getting us in the season. I think it's a super thing.
Well, and our Saturday thing is important too, because a lot of kids are in school up to the time they get out for vacation. But we have that time from 10 to 2 there also, and then before and after every special service and every regular service, the lobby is just alive with everything that's going on.
That's a good opportunity.
There's a tree that is musical and the lights react to the beats of the music, and that's powerful. It happens every half hour, 30 minutes. And that's an extra event to come to.
That's an opportunity to say what's just around our campuses. Well, let's just take Woodway, for instance, because right away we have a super coffee shop. I don't care where in the world you go for a coffee. Woodway Campus Atrium, the Second Cup it's called. It's super. And it is right there in the center of the excitement of the atrium where you have this we'll call it a highly evolved synchronized tree of some sort, almost artificial intelligence perhaps, but it's very entertaining. But there's so much else going on in the lobby with the trains, the excitement, people are in a good mood. It's a great place.
Right. There's candy canes everywhere and big snowmen and nutcrackers and soldiers, and it's quite an event.
And, of course, the other thing, I don't know what's planned this year. I'm not on the inside, so to speak, but past years we've had photo opportunities set up around
all around the
campuses.
We have a magnificent hearth, that you can take in front of a hearth. You can take Rodney has the best venue there. There's right outside the music suite. There's a huge manuscript of "Oh Holy Night" that's beautifully decorated, and I saw people and there's trees on either side of many people coming there. It's a very, very family place to be.
Tell us about on the trains, the little scenes that are set up, the villages, and some of the inspiration. I know you were the mastermind behind at least some of it, so give us a word on that.
I always say, that you're in charge of that. I say, well, when it goes wrong, they come looking for me.
Where's Gary?
Yeah, that's right. It's been really fun to watch the evolution. I looked at pictures the other night from 2012, and we had a lot more snow than we had houses. I mean, there was a lot of white out there. But people have been wonderfully generous as they've seen what we're doing over the years. People are maybe retiring, go to assisted living, whatever, that have these large collections, have donated them to the church. And I tell them, man, that's the greatest thing they can do, because it will not just put the enjoyment they got out of it, their families all those years, but this is people from literally all over the world. People come to visit their relatives here in Houston. We've had people from China and Europe and everywhere to come and see them. And but they give these wonderful, magnificent Department 56 collections of stuff, and we put it according to theme. We have a Dickens section, an Old English section, has the Tower of London, has the Houses of Parliament, has Downton Abbey in it, all the characters from that. Then we have a German scene, it's got Alpine Village, which is one of my favorite parts. It's got Neuschwanstein Castle in the middle of it. We have an American Acres section that has kind of a backwoods country store kind of look. At the end of that's on the first platform. At the end of that, there is a whole New York section. We got Rockefeller Plaza and the Yankee Stadium and all that stuff. Then you cross over to the next platform and the North Pole, and that's my absolute favorite. It's a whimsical elves running everywhere, Santa Claus on a train. And then to the right of that, you go down. There's more of an Americana sort of thing, too, different from the other. It's more of a city thing. And then right at the end of that is the Disney section. And we have Frozen, Beauty and the Beast, the Mickey Mouse, everything Mickey and Minnie are doing for Christmas.
This is all in one room.
Yeah, it stretches way out. And you go around that, and that's the pièce de résistance. As you come out of the worship center, there's the Nativity. It's a Fontanini collection. It is the most elegant thing you have ever seen. Our guys have put special lights on the manger, and that's really been that's why we're in business for this, to remind people of the real meaning of Christmas. You go around the bend, you've got another little hometown scene, and then the big one that the kids stand in front of forever is the circus scene. And you've got circus tents and rides and all kind of stuff. We got little cocoa cups that spin around and bump cars that go into each other. So it's just alive.
It's unbelievable.
Yeah.
In fact, the trains, people hear the trains, they may be in one part of the room, they hear it, it draws them in, and then they get to see the detail on these little villages and the scenes you have set up. It's really amazing. So as we're here with the last, we have some time with the show, let's bring kind of everybody back here. And Gary, as far as the trains, well, what else should we know, and what else do you want us to know? I mean, you've been there for so many years.
Yes.
You're one of my Second Baptist heroes. You and Dr. Young and Dr. DeLoach when he was there.
Right.
He was the greatest.
We came in 1981 from First Baptist Dallas, which was the largest church in the Southern Baptist Convention at that time. And we were there for 10 years and came here. And, of course, Dr. Young's incredible vision. And at the heart of his vision is the fact that we do things that are non-threatening to people. Something that you would do out in the
doors are open
city.
for everyone.
Well, I mean, if you would do an activity, we had an electric light parade, as you know, for many years, based on the Disney kind of model. And we had people from all over the city and all over the state come, because that draws people into our midst. Then we have a chance to share the love of the Lord with them and show them what the Second Baptist family is really all about. And so that's really the reason for all the outreach that we do.
Rodney, as we wind things up, let's tell people, is there anything we have forgotten? I mean, there's so many great things. You know, I'm an enthusiast. I hate the humidity in Houston. If it weren't for Second Baptist, I'm just saying. I mean, don't tell anybody, but if it weren't for Second Baptist, I might be in a cooler climate. Okay, that's my confession.
Well, coming from Georgia, I miss some of the cooler weather, but although we're having a few hours at least on some of the recent days of cooler weather. But you know, this is my first Christmas at Second, and I'm like a new kid in a candy store, excited about all the events that are taking place. And I share with Gary's enthusiasm about the trains. It's my first time to see it, and I just find myself drawn to it almost every day, just walking by and checking out a new village. So it is absolutely fabulous. But, you know, as I'm learning, December is packed at Second Baptist Church with 3 Christmas Eve services, one on Christmas Eve on the 23rd of December, and then 2 on Christmas Eve. So those are fabulous services. And the song you mentioned a few moments ago featuring Jeff, he's going to be doing that.
I can't wait.
Yeah, we're going to have at least 3 of those moments that you mentioned, and it's going to be spectacular. The choir will be there. The orchestra will be there that we mentioned before. So, you know, it's not only The Light Has Come, which we're excited about, but it's great worship services on Sunday, and then Christmas Eve and Christmas Eve services as well.
And, of course, we have 7 campuses at Second Baptist Church. We're talking primarily about most of the things our people right here. The staff is from the Woodway campus. But I want to say this. Our show is heard right here at the time of broadcast in the Houston, Texas area. It only goes so far. But guess what? It's on the internet. And I hear people talk about New York City, the Rockefeller Christmas tree. Yeah, I'm sure that's all great. But if you're listening on the internet, this is a destination. Get on a plane and come on and see us. We have room for you, right, Jeff?
Absolutely.
I don't care what city you're in or another country. Come and at least watch us online.
I promise you this is New York quality, if not better.
Beyond. Yeah.
Absolutely.
And, you know, because we got such incredible talent here in Houston, a lot of great musicians, a lot of great players and singers. Another thing I wanted to mention, too, is during the month of Christmas, it really is every weekend is like a big Christmas production. Matter of fact, I just had some family and relatives that were here this past weekend, and specifically my mother, she said, what we did on Sunday is what most people do for their whole Christmas production.
If they can.
If they can. And that's just a normal thing. So I wanted to let people know about this weekend, too. We have a lot of great music. Matter of fact, there's probably one of the John won't say anything about it, but I can. He came up with a rendition and an arrangement, an orchestration for the Carol of Bells, and it is ginormous. It's fantastic. It's epic. It's unlike anything you've ever heard in your entire life. So if you don't have a place to go this weekend for services, you can come at 6 p.m. on Saturday or at 9:30 and 11. Are you doing an 11 as well? It's not gonna be done. So, but at least 6 o'clock on Saturday and 9:30 on Sunday, and experience that along with a whole bunch of other choir songs.
It's
and
always
specials.
great there.
So it's going to be great.
Well, and John, before we close, what else do you want people to know? John Stanley doing incredible work, instrument wrangler, orchestra leader, all these things, and an author too, as I mentioned. You had a book out there. What was the name of the book, John? It was called
Surrender.
That's right.
Yeah.
People can still find that?
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. You can go on Amazon and get it. And absolutely just look up Surrender by John Stanley on Amazon. But yeah, I mean, a lot has been capitalized on what we do in December, and the light has come. But, we also just encourage week in and week out, it's obviously not a massive production like The Light Has Come. We don't always have trains. But what you will experience when you walk into Second is just a genuine connect with people and a genuine connect with our staff. We love getting to know people in the congregation. We have an amazing choir. There's just so much that goes on. We also have amazing Bible study. We have just amazing care groups across the church. And if you know any loved ones who are going through a really tough time, I can't tell you the stories that I know out of second of people who have been involved in our Bible studies, who have been involved in our church.
Divorce recovery classes, all sorts of things.
Who talk about the care that they get from the membership at Second is literally like no other. And so, and Gary, you may know, are we approaching what, over 70,000, obviously? Are we almost to 80,000 members?
Oh, we're well over that.
We're well over that.
85,000 members. And so it's a lot of people taking care of each other in the way that Christ commands us to do as his church. And that all stems from the leadership of Dr. Young. And but you will not find a more prepared, willing group of people to meet your needs. And so we just encourage people to come to Second just every weekend. Just come check it out. Join a Bible study.
Life-changing.
Get involved in worship. If you sing, we have a process we go through to join the choir, but that Rodney has implemented, which has been amazing.
All volunteers and all walks of life, backgrounds, experiences.
Yeah.
Some who have never been in the choir before, and those that hold degrees in vocal performance.
Yeah,
so it runs the gamut.
Across the board. And then we also have an amazing, like what you talked about, music ministry as far as being a part of the orchestra. Now, we do have a process we go through in that we've implemented, but we do encourage you, email and check us out, and you can send us an email. You can call us at 713-365 2400, 713-365-2400 at the Woodway campus.
Remember, you're open 365 days.
That's it.
That's a great way.
That. He said we're open 365 days a year, and we're awake 24 hours a day. That's right. But yeah, so those kinds of things. Give us a call. Come check us out, and if you're interested, we'd love to hear from you.
Indeed, we would. Second.org, thelighthascome.org. On behalf of all of us, have a blessed Christmas. We're here from Second Baptist Church. I'm a member, Bill Knapik, your radio host. We have Rodney Brooks right here. You've been hearing from Rodney, John Stanley, Jeff Anderson, my favorite Veritas character. By the way, where's the action figures? Just saying. And Dr. Gary
More like bobbleheads.
Or the bobbleheads. But thank you all for listening to Successful Living with Bill Knapik. That's me. Join us next week, and simply go to radiobill.net. You can find past shows there from years ago even. Again, radiobill.net. Thank you so much for listening. Thank you so much, guys.
Thank you.
And we'll see you all next week. Are you having trouble getting the Wi-Fi to work in your home? You know, if the home is over 4,000 square feet, it's going to be really tough to get the box from the service provider to do the job for you. Let me tell you about Jacqueline and Donnie from Media Systems. They have a team of high-tech professionals that know how to solve this. They also work on all kinds of home automation systems like Crestron, Lutron, and Control4. Look, if you don't mow your own yard or work on your own car, why are you wasting time with this stuff? Call Jacqueline and Donnie, your home technology advisors, and have their team take care of this for you. Media Systems has been in business for 40 years in Houston, and they're ready to help. Check them out at mediasystems.com, mediasystems.com, or call 713-426-0900, 713-426-0900, mediasystems.com.
Tune in to Successful Living with Bill Knapik, a unique, engaging lifestyle program Sundays 8 to 9 p.m. on 950 KPRC. That's Sundays 8 to 9 p.m. Successful Living with Bill Knapik. Go to radiobill.net for more info.
It's Bill Knapik from the Successful Living Show. If you like this show, tell your friends. Also, if you want to hear me talk about real estate with tremendous guests, Real Estate Matters with Stuart Title every Sunday at 5 p.m. on 950 KPRC.